Hi everyone, welcome to the LisaBug Fitness and Yoga Short and Sweet series. Today is our standing balance class, and these little short videos are about somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes, just a little quick bite for you to work on something specific that you'd like to for today, and balance is ever so important. All of these poses are standing, but I do have a chair or maybe a wall for a little extra help. Let's come on up. All right, so standing up nice and tall. Just a couple things to think about with balance is our center of gravity is so important. So we want to have a nice neutral spine and really lengthened from the crown of the head on into our feet. Our feet are our tree trunks, and I want you to imagine that there's roots growing out of your feet down into the ground. This helps us to create what's called the Pada Bandha, or the foot lock. So the mobility of our feet is really important with balancing. We want to make sure that they're not feeling really stiff, because those ankles need to wiggle around and move a little bit to help us in our balance poses. So let's start by warming up the ankles. Stand on your left foot, bring your right leg up, and you can use your chair for a little support here, and let's flex and point, flex and point. And as you do, really stand tall. Think about the axis, your center of gravity, being directly from the floor into the ceiling. And then let's circle the ankle maybe 2 or 3 times slowly each direction, just to loosen up those muscles in the feet. And then reverse. Excellent. And then relax, set that foot to the floor, and then really root and ground into that right side. Pick up your left leg, find your balance, flex, and point. And you can already work on your balance a little bit by doing this without holding on to your chair. Absolutely. Now think about where your eyes are looking. Our focal point is so important. In yoga, this is called the Drishti. Let's circle that ankle. And the Drishti is we want to focus on something that's not moving to help use our vision to increase our balance. Let's reverse that. Make sure you're not looking at something down on the ground, because as soon as you drop your head, your spine comes out of alignment. You lose that good axis and center of gravity. All right, excellent. So our first balance pose, and again, using your chair or wall if you need to, we're just going to stand on the left leg and pick up the right knee any amount. So we are flexing at the hip, we're flexing at the knee, and you can also flex at your ankle. Now what to do with your arms here when you're standing and balancing? We can open them out to the side and lengthen. And sometimes this really helps us with balance. Imagine you're a tightrope walker and you've got that big pole and it's moving side to side. That helps us to stabilize because we've made our center of gravity a little bit bigger. If you feel good here and you want to stay, great. If we want to add some movement, let's take this knee and slowly open it out to the side without moving the pelvis and bring it back in. We'll do that 3 times. Open out and bring it in. One more. Breathing, breathing as you're holding your poses. Bring it in and set that foot down. Now notice how much work you felt in the supporting leg. You might feel a little fatigue up through your calf muscle, through your thigh, through your hip. That's so normal. That means you are stabilizing well with that standing leg. So let's now stand on the right leg, energize and root that leg, pull up, lift the left leg, flexing at the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Arms wherever they want, wherever you want. Maybe it is wherever they want. And then let's use a little bit of movement to challenge ourselves here by opening the knee out and to the front. Good. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to balance if we don't move while we're balancing. That's the challenge. It changes our body's center of gravity. One more. Excellent. Bring it back in and then release it down. Now in between these poses, you might just want to flesh out those legs a little bit, wiggle them around, get the blood flow going again, disperse any lactic acid that might have built up, creating a little burn in those muscles. All right, let's stand on our left leg again. Use your pada bandha. Slightly separate your toes, grip the earth, pull the knee open, and we'll do tree pose. Now you can leave your big toe right down on the floor to assist with balance a little bit. Hands can be at the heart, or start to bring that foot to the ankle, maybe up to the inner portion of your calf. We want to make sure we're not going to push on our knee, so that's not going to be good for that knee joint. But you can come all the way up here to the inner thigh if that feels okay for you to hold tree there. I'm going to stay at the lower leg. Now activate this outer thigh muscle, keep your hips and pelvis forward, and hold your tree pose. And then we can challenge this by opening the arms out. This is the branches of your tree. And then either staying still, or we can move those branches any way you'd like. Perhaps lowering and lifting the arms, like the branches are moving through the wind. We can also challenge the balance by moving our head, which will change our focal point or our drishti. So you can look over to the right side or to the left side. Let's hold one more breath. Exhale, bring the palms back into center line. And release that foot down to the floor. Ooh, I really felt some burn in my standing leg calf. Let's see if we can even that out to the other side. So plant that pada bandha in the right foot. Bring the left knee and open it out. Now that knee doesn't have to go straight to the side. It's wherever your mobility is in your hip that you open that knee. Big toe can stay on the ground, or move that foot to the ankle, to the inner part of your shin, or to the upper part of your inner thigh, just not pressing the knee. And then activate everything in the lower body. Feel the hip working as you're pulling this knee out. Feel the thigh working as you're drawing energy up from the earth. And lengthen all the way up into the crown of the head and expand the branches of your tree, extend up. Think about your core working. So much of our balance comes from activating the muscles of your core. And then maybe we're choosing to move the arms a little bit. And again, keep the breath moving during your balance poses. It's so easy to hold our breath while we're trying to hold the pose, but keep the breath moving. One more inhalation. And exhale, press palms, and release that foot down. Good, create some movement in that standing leg. Our next balance pose is Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. So I'm using my chair here to help me with the pose this time. And I'm going to step forward onto my left foot. The right leg will tap the big toe behind. And then lengthen your spine. Keep everything really stable through your core, and just teeter-totter your body forward. So I'm not bending at the waist, I'm flexing at the hip until my fingertips come down to the chair. And then square your hips. The back foot can be flexed or pointed. Make sure your head position is neutral, so we're not looking up to the drishti. Your drishti is now down toward the top of your chair. Once you have your balance, you might just need a couple fingers there, or the hands can come to the heart. They can come out to the side like those airplane wings, or you can bring your arms forward into traditional Warrior 3 arms. A little micro bend in your standing knee, abdominals engaged, we're breathing. And then we'll come up from the pose by using the power of that leg, that standing leg, to teeter-totter to return up. Good. Flesh out that leg a little bit. Other side. Nice and long through your spine. The setup is really important here. Try not to just rush right into your balance pose. Then step your left foot back, so we're standing on the right leg. Square your hips, and then teeter-totter forward. So there's no change through the position of my spine until the fingertips come down to the chair. Now we're holding the chair at the beginning so you can fine-tune your position. Make sure the left hip isn't rising up. We want to plant it down so it's squared to the floor. Back leg is active, so either flex or point your foot, tighten your thigh muscle. Head is neutral, find your drishti, keep breathing, and then see if you can take your hands off that chair wherever you'd like to reach them. And then we breathe. Feel your foot making those little corrections, those little movements in those small intrinsic muscles of the ankle. All right, let's get ready to rise up. Nice and strong through that standing leg. And relax. So we've balanced standing up. We've balanced in a 90-degree position with the body. Now I'm going to balance on a diagonal position for starfish pose. So again, using your chair or wall if you need for assistance, we'll stand on the left leg and then reach the arms up like a V and start to point the right toe out to the side. Now I'm not doing a side bend here, so this isn't the star pose. You're still upright, but I'm just going to lift that leg off the floor and my body's on a diagonal. Good. And brace the abs. Now with this free leg, we can create some movement by maybe circling that outer thigh 2 or 3 times each direction. Or just lift and lower the leg. Or you can hold the leg still and move through the arms, down and up. Good, just a couple more breaths here. Starfish balance. Last breath. Really reaching. And then exhale, the foot comes down and the arms come down. Now sometimes it helps you to balance if you have a little turnout in your feet. When the feet are straight forward, it's fine. That parallel position is good. But sometimes if we have a little turnout, that will help us balance, especially in starfish, because our body's going to move on an angle. So turn those toes out a little and see how that works for you. Reach the arms up into that nice wide V. The leg comes to tap the foot to the floor. And you can stay with your big toe just barely touching. This is great. Our body's on a diagonal. Or lift that leg up and hold. Now this is an outer thigh exercise. You should be feeling this in that hip to hold the leg up. If that muscle wasn't working, your leg would just drop down. So activate. Then you can decide if you'd like to do a couple circles each direction. Where is your drishti, your focal point? Is your core connected? Where is your center of gravity and your axis over that standing leg? We'll be here just a couple more breaths. You can use movement of the arms. And last breath, exhale. And lower that foot down and relax. Our last balance pose for today is balanced chair pose. So in yoga, chair is like a little squat. So come to a position, I'm going to use my chair for balance here, where your feet are either hips distance apart or you can bring them closer together for a little bit more balance challenge. That's that classical yoga position with your feet tight together. You choose. And then lengthen your spine, inhale to prepare. Exhale, start to sit your hips back into chair. And just let your arms come forward a little bit here for a counterbalance. Or the palms can be at your heart. So let's talk about chair. We have a neutral spine. We're on an angle. Make sure that your chair doesn't look like this. We're not bowing down. Also make sure your chair doesn't look like this with a rounded back. So set your hips back. Create a neutral spine. There's a little small curve in your lower back, your normal curve. Pull your abs in and up and bring your weight of your body back into your heels. Now we want the weight into the heels so we can fire the glutes. But for our balance pose today, use your chair to help if you need and start to shift your body weight forward into the balls of your feet until you can pick your heels up off the floor any amount. Now you might need your chair for this balance pose, just all the way through start to finish. That's okay. And if you have problems coming up onto the balls of the feet because of your toes, maybe you're just lifting your heels 1 inch, but it's enough to create some balance challenge. If we can let go of that chair, let's give it a try and hold here and breathe. Find your drishti. Find your core connection, your base of support, your axis and center of gravity. One more breath. Let those heels drop down. Press into the legs as we rise up, stretch, reach, and then let those arms lower back down. Good. Balance is so important throughout the entire lifetime. So this is a wonderful practice to do on a daily basis. And you can kind of tune into your body and see how you're doing from day to day. If your balance is getting better, if it's progressing, as you're being very diligent working on this part of our health and fitness. Let's take a breath in together. Sweep the arms out and up. Press the palms together. Draw thumbs to the heart. And it is my honor this morning, or today, to lead you through this LisaBug Fitness and Yoga Short and Sweet Series Balance Practice. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and take care.